Good afternoon, everyone. We thank you for taking your time and joining this webinar for SIMULIA on cloud. Basically, we'll be going through why cloud solution. We understand due to this situation, assessing the solution. This solution, the on-cloud solution, has been expected market for in today's industry, and how we can leverage and get the advanced capabilities of pre and post processor solution and access to all platform values. How we can leverage the 3D experience platform to the reduce the computational time and cost, and there'll be a minimum of access to 18 to 144 core usage, and how you can usage of the cloud and expected time reduction in the solution what you're looking for. Mainly, before we start, we just would like to go through our what we EDS are and all about this 2020 is our 25th year of we celebrated our 25th year in March 2020, and we are the largest platinum partner in India for DESO system, and we provide solutions for PLM complete DESO product. We have more than 1,015 active customer. What we are telling about, they are active customer across India. We have 11 offices across the locations toward the nation. We are also a strategic alliance with other solutions like US for 3D printing and human ergonomics, human solutions, and VTMAC for the defense. Mainly, we sell and support and market the customer satisfaction audit terms on access to customer PLM, basically all the DESO solutions. And we have a e-learning portfolio where we given access to our customer. They can go through our e-learning website. And basically, we also have a dedicated team on the support where they keep on touch with our customer to make the satisfaction on this support wise as well. Before we start, we would like to introduce Mr. Pratik Deshpande. Yeah, Mr. Pratik Deshpande is our application specialist, engineering solution for SIMULIA. He did his master of in mechanical engineering in New Jersey, and he worked at Detroit Engineering Product at Michigan. And he is was also worked at General Motors as a CE lead research engineer with lightweight manufacturing systems. And I just like to over to Pratik. Pratik, over to you.
Thank you, Harish, for the quick and the brief introduction. And once again, I welcome you all for taking out time out of your busy schedule and attending this webinar. And like Harish has mentioned, today we will be the reason for this one webinar is we all know that we are going through a pandemic situation, and this has been completely new to each one of us. But even then, the business must go on, and how we even in such situations, how we can continue our businesses. And one way is through the cloud, which has been the niche product in the last few years, and that's where simulation comes into the picture. So Dassault System also has come up with simulation on cloud, and that is what we are going to talk about today, as how we can leverage simulation on the cloud. What are the advantages as compared to whatever standalone softwares we use for carrying out simulation at our premises. Now, before we go more into the details about that, the agenda for today's webinar would be, first of all, we'll try to briefly understand what is 3D Experience Platform. Then usually when we say 3D Experience Platform, we also talk about the unified user experience. So what is this unified user experience? What does it mean by unified user experience? Then being as a FEA, a finite element analyst, or being as a simulation engineer, what will be my role in all of this, or how this platform is going to help me out, or help me add value to my processes or to my day-to-day activities. Then gateway, the 3D experience gateway content showcase. Then we will discuss about the 3DX, the cloud compute performance. If I move on to the cloud, is it really going to be helpful for me? or what are the advantages, or what will be the performance of my simulation. So we have a few examples of 2 sliders that we will be looking about. Then we will discuss about the different aspects of 3D Experience Cloud, the way 3D Experience Cloud is being provided to the customers by Dassault Systems, that. And in the end, we will also look at one quick view of the case study of the whole design process, all the way from design, simulation to validation, in one slide. And in between, there is also a small video which showcases how you can use 3D Experience platform or the simulation on cloud to model, to pre-process, simulate, as well as post-process. And later that we can have a Q&A session. Meanwhile, if you have any question, please feel free to type it into the chat box, so that by the end of the webinar we can get back to your questions. So to start with, what is 3D Experience Platform? So basically 3D Experience Platform is a business experience platform, and not only that, since we are going to talk here with respect to simulation, the platform provides the simulation solutions for any and every organization, be it from sales to marketing to engineering. It's going to help you, bring all these different aspects onto a single platform. And if we make a single change, now we can articulate that single change or the value of 3D Experience Platform specifically in the context of simulation. Now, again, some of the few highlights of 3D Experience Platform is, as mentioned on my screen, it's a game changer for simulation, and it's like no more over-the-wall simulation. Simulation becomes an integral part of your organization. If you have developed a certain process, you can package it, you can and deploy it into your team, so that similar quality of the work flow is maintained throughout the organization. And all this becomes possible on 3D Experience platforms. And like advanced workflows can not only be developed, but you can package it and deploy it for widespread use. Meaning, if you have developed a special work flow here in Bangalore, and you have another team sitting somewhere in Delhi or somewhere in Europe, you can definitely deploy the workflows wherein they can also use the similar workflow that you have developed, so that same quality is maintained throughout your organization. And on top of that, simulation data can be leveraged throughout an organization, maximizing its value. Now, this is the gateway to the 3D Experience platform. Now, let's go back in time. So what happened? For example, here, how can we manage the ever increasing volumes of data, ensuring that the right people are accessing the right data at the right time and in the right context? How do we allow our simulation experts to collaborate, adding greater value by addressing multidisciplinary challenges? And some of the other questions here are, how can we capture requirements to know why we are even doing simulation in the first place? And if we do deploy simulation into our workflow, how do we validate our results and ensure the requirements were met? And on top of that, the most important questions would be, how can we leverage simulation throughout the business, making it available to a wider audience in context they can understand? So in order to answer all these questions, or to bring in all of these questions on 3D Experience platform, we have data management to manage your data. We can workflows and deploys. We can democratize all your workflows, be it design, be it simulation. Requirements can be gathered, monitored at each and every level. So that's how the 3D Experience platform is going to open you a new door. Now, once I am into the 3D Experience platform, this is how the dashboard is going to look like. So before that, we briefly highlighted, sorry, what I was trying to say here is, this is how the GUI, or once I open up the 3D Experience platform, is going to look like. And on the left hand side, you can see what we call it as a compass, wherein currently on my screenshot, the V plus R is being highlighted. V plus R is nothing but virtual plus real, wherein when I go into this when I click on this button, it is going to take me to all my simulation tools which are available on the 3D Experience platform. And by that, then you also have roles inside it. Now, if you see here, the 3D Experience Abaqus CAE and the platform contributor, both of these roles are highlighted in blue with a blue check mark. What exactly this means is that these two roles have been assigned to me as a user, and under these roles I have various different applications. Now if you see at the bottom of that, in my favorite apps, you can see Run Abaqus CAE. Then I have another app called as Run Abaqus. Then I have another app called as Job Monitor, and also I have another app called as the 3D Play. So I can use the Run Abaqus CAE job to launch Abaqus roles, wherein I can go ahead, and pre-process a model, meaning I can import a CAD model, or even I can quickly build a CAD model, apply loads, boundary conditions, materials, sections, etc. Then using the Run Abaqus app, I can run the simulation. Job Monitor, I can keep monitoring my job, how much it has completed, are there any errors, is the job aborted, etc. And using the 3D Play later on, I can go ahead and I can do, the visualization or the results visualization. So that's basically how the GUI of the 3D experience platform is going to look like. Now, what are the key values of 3D experience? So one thing is scalability. Scalable, all your solutions can be scalable for all user skill levels. Then integrated, you can have a seamless interoperability between CAD, CAE as well as the PLM if you want to even integrate the PLM. Then productivity, we can definitely focus on engineering problem as compared with manual non-value added tasks. And one of the examples I did speak about, packaging workflows, is going to not only save you a lot of time, but at the same time maintain quality of the work throughout the whole organization. And then technology, we have one of the best and niche realistic simulation solutions, as you all are very much aware of, like Abaqus. Best practices, we can capture and reuse simulation standards. We can do design exploration, optimally perform designs from concept all the way through the detailed designs can be done here. And it is on cloud. By using cloud, we are not only going to minimize hardware requirement, we are even going to minimize the software maintenance. Since everything will be run onto the cloud, all we need is a simple compatible device wherein you can launch your 3D experience platform, and through that, be it on your mobile, be it on your tablet, be it on your computer, all you need to is simply log in, and you can build your models using the cloud hardware, you can submit using the cloud hardware. So these are basically the 3D experience key values. Now, what is 3D experience platform? We did really speak about this before. So speaking about the unified user experience, I did say this before, that when we say 3D experience platform, it's nothing but the unified user experience. So what it exactly means is any application you open in 3D on 3D experience, it uses the same graphical user interface. By this, what I mean is, whether you are a simulation analyst or whether you are a CATIA designer, when you open up the particular app, the basic layout of your GUI is going to remain the same. That is, you'll have a model tree on the left hand side, you have a toolbar at the bottom, you have a search bar at the top, and you also have intuitive tabs on the right, which is going to intuitively help a user during the process of whether it is designing or simulation, which we will definitely talk again in the next few slides. So this is how the unified browser is going to look like. Either you can launch it through the 3D experience which is being installed on your laptop, or you can use the browser application as well to log in and to build your models and submit it for the analysis. So that's how easier and simpler it has been made. So once I go into a particular application, so this is the user interface it's going to look like. And like I mentioned, you will see model tree on the left hand side, you have a toolbar at the bottom, you have the search bar and 6W tags on the top, as well as the whatever this table you are seeing. This is the intuitive tabular table that allows the user to perform his duty without making any errors. Now, what is my role in all of this? Like, okay, I am a simulation engineer, true, but I am working only in a particular department for a particular kind of an analysis. So what it's my role in all of this? Basically, one of the most important point here is functionality is provided through roles. So we do know that every organization has different kinds of specialists. So based on their experience and their specialization, we can assign different roles to those particular engineers. So if I'm a mechanical analyst, I have, if I'm a simulation specialist, I have a mechanical analyst role that can be assigned to me. For a simulation for the designer, a designer who is building a design and he quickly wants to validate if his design is good, a stress engineer role can be assigned. For a composite specific engineer, we can assign composite simulation engineer. Then there is additive manufacturing researcher, plastic injection engineer, and many more roles are available. And at the end of the session, we'll briefly talk about structural analysis engineer, which is a full Abaqus capability role. And we will definitely focus on this role shortly. Now, each role here describes a typical user's profile, and it provides the capabilities and all the tools for them to do their job. And not only that, users can have one role or a combination of role, and you can assign as many roles as you can. And one more good thing about here is you can assign an administration to the platform, and all the roles then will be assigned by this platform admin. And all these roles are accessed via the compass, which I previously talked about. So V plus R is for simulation. When I go to 3D, these are all for the CATIA or the 3D product design roles. And again, roles are packages of application. So inside the roles, you will have different application, again very specific to the role that has been assigned. And it's the 3D dashboard. It's your one-stop shop for 3D experience. You can access any and all apps from different brands using the same widget. So it makes the job easier. I don't have to keep on moving from one GUI to different GUI, or start firing up different softwares so that you can have control. Everything can be accessed from a single widget. And you can not only that, you can open up different widgets and you can interact by using drag and drop. And on top of that, you can create your own personalized interface as per your needs. So if you are working, you have a certain workflow which you'll be working day in and day out, say for the next 6 months or 1 year. You can create your own personalized interface which will aid to you, to fast your process. A multiple dashboard again makes it easy to switch between different tasks as well as role. Now coming to value proposition, first of all, we have state-of-the-art multiphysics simulation capability, which can deliver, structural analysis, fluid analysis, acoustics analysis, electromagnetics, multi-body simulation, all together brought onto a single platform. On top of that, we have very high advanced capabilities for pre and post processing as compared to the standalone Abaqus CAE. The meshing algorithms, the load constraints, all these algorithms have been highly strengthened and enhanced as compared to the standalone Abaqus CAE. On top of that, one of the major benefit of using cloud is less computational time, as well as access to all the 3D experience platform values. Now, referring to the 3D experience platform values, which I have been saying a couple of times, we have listed here about 6 different values and how 3D experience will help us. So if I go for the first one, so the question is, I would like to ask you, the question is like, if you have problems with project task management and collaboration with anyone and from anywhere in your organization, we have something called as the review project with task management and in instance collaboration. And with this review projects, you can perform task management with anyone and from anywhere. Do you always have the confidence to work on the correct version of the CAD model? So again, these are some of the questions that might arise. And so I'm saying the question as well as I'm answering to the questions. Yeah, we can work right onto the CAD model using the preview and fast comparison of the revised data tool, which is again available onto the 3D experience platform. Now, the third question is, does it take too long to update the simulation models when CAD geometry changes? Now, using the 3D experience values, we can improve the user productivity with instant model update after geometry modification, and we can immediate rerun of the simulation is again possible using the 3D experience platform. Question 4, do you need to access and share your simulation data with other people without copying with any device? That is a major challenge, especially when we are working with our suppliers, or we being the supplier with any OEMs. The data exchange is highly how do I say, highly confidential. So in that case, when we are using the 3D experience platform, we have controlled and secure access from anywhere on and from any device to your simulation data, as well as the managed life cycle. And not only that, you can even share this with your concerned partners for them to review as well. Now, does it take too long to generate, share, and manage simulation result and reports? It does take a little bit of a time when I want to generate and manage my simulation results using the standalone softwares. Whereas when I'm using the dashboards in 3D Experience platform, it helps me to collaborate and immediately share the simulation results as well as the project reports within an organization to my bosses, to my managers, or even to my partner companies for whom we are carrying out the project. And the final question, is there a need for additional compute power or access to high performance compute? Because sometimes we might lack hardware or licenses. Sometimes we do have hardware, we do not have enough tokens to run, and again getting those enough tokens might be somewhat expensive. In that case, we get a very clear benefit from the cloud compute resources. For any extra needs of simulation, we can get access to the cloud high performance compute. Again, I will speak about different types of compute availability within Dassault systems, wherein if I just need very high performance computing just for one of the projects, which is going to take 10 hours, I don't have to spend a lot of money to buy tokens. Rather, I can buy credits, which will be good enough for 10 hours with a very high computing, a high performance compute power. So all these different variations of capabilities are available. Now, coming to another value proposition is the cloud compute example or the turnaround time. So as you can see onto my screen, there are some examples of the analysis types with the model size, and we have also mentioned the turnaround time when I'm using local compute, meaning the hardware compute, as well as the turnaround time cloud compute using the cloud. So for wire crimping of a dynamic explicit analysis which involves contact, the model size is about 84 MB, and sorry, the nodes are 84,000, about 84,000 nodes and 258,000 degrees of freedom. If I use a local compute with a minimum amount of cores, that is one core, it's going to take about 26 minutes for me to complete the job. Whereas if I go with the cloud compute, it's going to save me about 5 minutes. Similarly, for frontal crash dynamic explicit analysis, the local compute is going to take me about 204 minutes, whereas the cloud compute is going to take me about 178 minutes. Now, engine thermal stress implicit analysis with minimum local compute, it's not possible on single core. Whereas with the minimum compute on cloud, it's going to take me about 120 minutes to finish the engine thermal stress analysis, which is an implicit analysis. For engine sealing and board distortion, it around 429 minutes as compared to 343 when using the local compute. So these are some more examples, especially for the Abaqus. So be it examples like stent expansion, the sheet metal forming, bottle drop, reactor vessel, bolt load, internal pressure, bolt pretension, airbag inflection. This is where we can see the difference of number of cores that we will be using on the cloud, and the time that the cloud compute is going to take to complete this analysis. So for all the small kind of jobs on cloud, a minimum of 18 cores by default is available. So you cannot go less than that of 18 cores. Whereas for medium size jobs, which will be somewhere between 4 million to 8 million degrees of freedom, you can go with a medium size, that is 36 number of cores you will get by default. And for any models beyond 6 million degrees of freedom, you can go all the way up to 144 cores depending upon your requirement, the kind of analysis that you are going to run. So this is how the difference is there when I'm running a local compute as compared to that of a cloud compute. Now, this is one small example of how I am going to build a model, or rather pre-process a model and submit it for the analysis. So this is a very quick video. So you have the import option, so you can go ahead and import a CAD model. and you have all the meshing algorithm just like the way it is in Abaqus, and you can see at the bottom we have different tools for modifying these changes. Now you see how we went to the V plus R, and I'm choosing a structural model application. Now once I click on OK after choosing, it is automatically going to take me to that particular application wherein the model tree is highlighted over here. You have properties, you can go ahead and assign a material. You can have either create a material, or if you want certain materials to be saved, you also have a material palette wherein you can go ahead and save your materials once it is being created. So you can input all your values, you can apply, you can choose the domain, especially what kind of a simulation you are carrying about, be it mechanical, be it thermal, be it frequency. All those domain can be easily assigned. So the section has been assigned. So I'm choosing a structural kind of an analysis over here. Now, once I choose that, you can see how the bottom tools have already changed. So I have a procedure. I can go ahead and create initial conditions, the interactions, the restraints, the loads, and finally, when everything is being done, you can simulate it. Now you can see just above the tools, it says structural analysis case, and before this previous step, it says static perturbation step has been created as a procedure. Now when I click on this arrow, you see this is where the intuitive tab which I was talking about. So the setup, the parts, connection, interactions have all been properly done. Hence they have been highlighted in green check mark and square boxes, whereas restraints, load, simulate, and the results has not been done yet completely, and that is the reason why those are highlighted in the red circle marks. So now I'm going to the restraints to create a restraints or the boundary condition. So I'm going to fix one side of this particular arm, or where we call it as a clamp. It's that is encastre, as we say it in Abaqus, wherein we are restraining all the 6 degrees of freedom over here. Now you can see the restraints, the green check mark is there. Now the next step would be to assign the loads. So I'm choosing a face and I'm going to assign the load. So I'm going to simply assign a pressure load, or you can even assign force. So there are different types of loads are available. As per your requirement, you can go ahead and assign. I'm going to assign it on the top surface of this arm. So I'm choosing those surfaces. I apply about 10 Newton per meter square, and okay. And then we go back to the intuitive tab, and now you can see everything is checked in green mark except the results, because we still haven't done the simulation. So I'm going to submit this job, or rather simulate it. So it's the job is running now. You can see if there are any errors or warnings will be all displayed over here. It will take a few moments to finish the results. And then once the simulation checks completed and the simulation is done, we can go ahead and we can visualize. So I'll quickly move this. So this is the the visualization window, and you can see, you can check for your von Mises displacement, undeformed, deformed state, etc. You can have a cut views. Again, we will look into the visualization tool in the next upcoming slides. So in short, this is the procedure wherein I can import a CAD model onto the 3D Experience platform, use the available tools to toggle from one task to another task very quickly. We can build the models, we can mesh it, and we can submit it as seen over here. So I'll move on to the next slide. So coming to the visualization part, many customers today are finding that CAE is not really able to manage the size and complexity of the models they produce. And fundamentally, Abaqus CAE is a single core only application. And so fundamentally, it is limited. Now, post-processing in 3D experience can be an enabling technology especially for these users. Native apps which are available on 3D experience platform supports multi-core, allowing result sets of tens or hundreds of GBs of sizes to be post-processed effectively. In addition, the architecture of the high-performance visualization allows much of the heavy lifting to be done on the server, that is cloud, with local resource used only to display the graphics primitives. It is also possible to import legacy ODB or SIM files into the 3D experience platform. So if you have any ODB or SIM files, even those can be imported into 3D experience platform for post-processing, making this an attractive option for many users today. Now, this is one quick small video. So going back to the high performance visualization. So this is a small, again, a small demo on how the visualization tool works on the 3D experience platform. So I'll quickly run through this. So this is what we are visualizing in Abaqus CAE or the standalone Abaqus. Now the same file when visualized on 3D experience platform, you can see how the visualization effect has been enhanced and how it has become more how it's more easier, not only to load the models, but as to have different sectional views, probing views, report generation, etc. You do also have the chance to save your file either on the server or onto your local directory if you are using the on cloud. So this is where I can choose my frame. I can even choose the increment. I can choose the plots. I can check out my values by inputting it. It's very seamless tools that are currently available, specifically when it comes to visualization. And all these additional advanced tools are available to check out the global minimum stress values, the global maximum stress values, on which element these values are acting, how they are acting. All this can be highly visualized here. And then we can also have the cut views. So you can have the cross-sectional views to see how the stresses are acting. These are the plotting of the graphs, plotting of vectors. That is the magnitude of displacement that it is going through. So basically that was just a small gist of the visualization tool. Now coming to 3D Experience Cloud, which I did speak at the beginning that we offer different kinds of cloud services. So there are three different kinds of services that currently we offer. One is called as the software as a service, wherein only software will be provided to you on cloud, where, excuse me, wherein you will be pulling up the licenses from the cloud, but running the jobs on your uh, local machines. One option. Then platform as a service. So the whole 3D experience platform will be given to you as service with an option either to run onto the cloud. Again, for that would be a different thing, and you will still be running it onto your on-premise hardware. Whereas infrastructure as a service is all you require is a simple compatible device wherein you can install your 3D experience, or you can go to the browser and open up the 3D experience. So all your model building, your data submission, everything will be completely done onto the cloud. So this is what we are talking about, infrastructure as a service, wherein there is no maintenance for your software required, no maintenance of your hardware, because there is no hardware requirement apart from a basic laptop or a tablet, wherein you can log into your 3D experience platform and start working. And on top of that, every 24 hours maintenance on the cloud will be happening automatically. Any software updates, any addition, any enhancements will happen every 24 hours automatically on the cloud. You don't have to worry about any of these maintenance issues, because that will be taken care. Now, how would be your journey if you opt to go cloud? What would be your journey? How long it will take for you to opt cloud and then start using it? First, basically, it will be up and running only within an hour after receiving the first email. Once you go for the cloud option, so what happens is, first you are going to receive an email which will then prompt you to create your passport login, which is nothing but the 3D experience login. Then you log in onto your platform. Once you log in, you have direct access to your dashboard, wherein you can go ahead, select your roles and apps as per your workflow. You download and install the software, and immediately you can start working. So that's how simple it is. Now, currently, one of the things that we have already seen in how customers are running the HPC simulation today. We have legacy on-premise hardware, and most of the times hardware will not be optimal for our algorithms, or if hardware is optimal, we won't have enough tokens, which is going to pose a big problem. Then we get it's very hard to get resources since many people are working. Your job might be in queue. There will be certain internal barriers, insufficient memory or disk, and these bottlenecks are going to cause you productivity delays. As not only that, only 16% of the IT enterprise market is cloud service related. Now cloud HPC is a small fraction of that, and but now it is quite growing because of all these bottlenecks that currently all the customers and all the industry is facing. On top of that, we have a very flexible licensing options when it comes to cloud. So it's basically two different types of options we have. One is this token, which is for a sustained capacity. So if you are aware that you will be using quite regularly for the simulation needs, you can go with the tokens. These tokens work similarly how the way the standalone Abaqus tokens work. Whereas if you are not sure how many simulation jobs you are going to run in an year, in that case we can go with the credit options. So basically it is on demand, whenever required, for how many hours required, on how many cores. You have to decide that, and you can let us know, and we can then for that amount of time you will get the computational capability on the cloud. So these two different types of licensing are currently available. Now, a summary of the 3D experience platform, it's complete all-in-one cloud workflow. It can be either through software as a service, platform as a service, or infrastructure as a service. And you have immediate on-demand access from anywhere in the world. As long as you have a login password for your 3D experience, you can be anywhere. You need a good internet connectivity. You can log in from anywhere and you can finish your job. It's fully scalable and flexible as per your requirement, and its role-based access will help you to democratize technology to all the departments. If you want to restrict a certain engineer with a certain role, you can do that. So his productivity is doubled because of this. And high end-to-end security, it's all triple encrypted. So when you opt for a cloud, a certain space in the cloud will be assigned to you whose login and information will only be with you, and not even Dassault system can touch that particular space which has been assigned to you. So there's a high end-to-end security as well. And simulation content here, using 3D the platform, simulation content can be managed very similar to CAD. Data access can be managed automatically. You can create attributes, you can manage and share specific content. It can be via bookmarks, folders, etc. All this can be done through the 3D experience platform. Then organizing your data again can be done through 3D experience platform. It provides several options. For example, we have the 3D search, we have bookmarks, we have folders. You can create your folders, you can create catalogs, you can create libraries, you can share with your teammates, or you can only share with only the persons you want to share with. So all these capabilities are available. And this is one of the case study case study wherein they have used the 3D experience platform all the way from designing a new concept to analyze concept using physics simulation, perform a design of experiments, through design of experiments generate an approximation model, then perform a multidisciplinary optimization, use the result analytics, create detailed design, validate the design, get the optimized design, and then validate the design. So this whole workflow or the work cycle can be easily achieved through the 3D experience platform. And summary, again, we have different simulation tools like thermal, structural, fluid systems, multi-body, CFD, etc. When it comes to simulation IP, reports can be generated, requirements can be gathered, models can be created, results can be explored, templates, formulations, methods can be created, loads can be loads, materials, tests. You can map them, scenarios. You can create scripts as well as workflows through, so that you can cascade it throughout your organization. And coming to simulation users, again, it's role based completely depending upon the expertise of an individual engineer. You can go ahead and assign either the regular roles or the advanced roles like simulation experts, methods developer, simulation user, decision maker, etc. Now, coming to one of the roles, we call it as a structural analysis engineer, which is a full Abaqus capability. So this particular role enables comprehensive structural simulation, and it covers all your statics, dynamics, vibration, thermal, as well as a bit of a fatigue across a broad range of industry application. And some of the highlights are thermal analysis or sequential thermal analysis for both transient as well as steady state can be carried out. We also have advanced capability for meshing with possible automated creation, scenario definition. It can go up to thousands of load cases, execution, results visualization, report generation, all can be done through this particular role. And on top of that, one added advantage is the fatigue simulation, which can help you to predict fatigue lives to ensure complex products are designed for durability. This is how the structural engineer role is going to look like, the GUI when you open up the structural engineer role and the different tools. So some of the examples that has been currently analyzed using the structural analysis engineer. So basically, that is all we wanted to give you the flavor of what 3D experience platform is and what simulation on cloud is. Because when I go for simulation on cloud, I am going to need the 3D experience platform to achieve the desired results. And the whole intent of this webinar was to give all of you a little bit flavor about how 3D experience is, how it works, what are different roles, what is the unified experience. Now, on top of that, we have come up with very special promotions for people or for customers who have extended tokens or the portfolio tokens, and we would be more than glad to help them move from portfolio as well as extended tokens onto the 3D experience platform. And not only that, we will also handhold you during this whole transition from standalone all the way up to 3D experience platform. So if you are interested, please do write back to us. So we, depending upon the number of tokens that currently you have, the types of analysis you carry out, we will not only help you suggest the roles which will be useful for you, but on top of that, we can tell you more about the promotion, how advantageous it is going to be for you, and and our sales guys will definitely help you with the pricing and how how what it is going to cost, how much better than standalone it is going to cost, etc. And I really and heartfully thank all of you for taking out time again from your busy schedule to attend the webinar on knowing the cloud solutions. And post this webinar again, if you have any question, please feel free to contact us anytime, and we will be more than glad to answer all your concerns, as well as help you in adding value to your workflows. So thank you all.